Hello, hello. Welcome to my new audio series called Forever Him, episode 1. As they say, love never dies, but in this story, it should have. This is a story of this pretty 25-year-old girl called Ahana. Ahana was this petite, sweet, good looking girl whose life looked perfect from the outside. She used to work in this PR company. She used to constantly be with celebrities, influencers, doing these brunches, doing these events, fashion shows. She herself was an influencer and constantly making reels. Whoever saw her feed or saw her felt that she was coming out of this dream, living her life to the fullest. But only she knew the cracks beneath her polished feet. Ahana was from a broken family. Her dad had left her long back to be with another woman. Her mother worked day and night to make ends meet. Luckily, they had a house given to them by the grandmother, that was Ahana's grandmother, her mother's mom. So they never had to pay rent, but apart from that, her education to maintaining the house, taking care of medical bills, everything had to be done by her mom. She always craved for validation. She always craved for love. Despite everything that looked perfect for another person, she always felt that she was not good enough. And they say, right, universe always tests you when you're at your lowest and keeps testing you till you break the pattern and heal. So that's where universe decided to test her by sending her a guy called Zen. Zen was her opposite. Not such a well-to-do family, carefree guy. Came from a family that made him too hard a person. Had a rough childhood where his parents kept fighting, separated. Never really saw love in his scheme of things. He was a Punjabi guy, tall, charming, didn't give F's to anybody, and that made Ahana draw into him. That's how they met at a fashion show. He was wearing this leather jacket and spoke softly with a toned body. Zen looked at Ahana, found her pretty, and striked a conversation. Zen asked her, "You talk like you're scared of silence, Ahana." "Maybe I am, maybe I sound like a lot of attention." That was the beginning. She was attracted to him. He also seemed to be in love. Looked like two flawed people trying to fix each other, but with the wrong tools. There was addiction, there was passion. Early days, like any love story, there was a lot of devotion, there was a lot of delusion. It started with small fights where Zen said, "Why didn't you text me back before going to bed?" Ahana had to say, "I did. I just called Instagram. I wasn't out." He constantly called every night asking her where she was. She constantly had to give her updates. Initially, Ahana was lacking the attention because she always used to look for validation. But those subtle, things at first turned into something more serious. Taunts kept coming in. She had to be particular about how she dresses, who she follows, who she meets. She got isolated from the few friends she had from work. She couldn't attend those events where there were hot models. One day she had gone to this fashion show to cover it, and there were a lot of hot models. Zen came there, storming, and took her out, deleted all her marketing campaigns, pictures from her drive. She could not put up her reels with the kind of dresses she was doing. She had to restrict her content to only skincare, as she couldn't do fashion clothes anymore. But still, she stayed. Because the highs were euphoric. He would show up with flowers, make playlists for her, whisper poetry about forever on rooftops. And in her mind, broken love was still love. Right? One day, Zen had gone away for a shoot. Zen used to work for a band, I'm sorry. But that band hardly got shows, so Zen technically had no money. What he had was a bike. And whatever shows he did once a month, he used to earn from that. So not that he used to take her to lavish places or buy her the most expensive gifts. He was just there. He used to show up late at night. He used to take her for long drives, and he was hot. Zen slowly had grown a little distant and unpredictable. The band was not performing. They were not getting the shows. Everybody in the band started blaming Zen for it, as he was very distracted with the girl. Zen started blaming Ahana for it. That because of you, I'm not being able to concentrate. So one night they had a heated argument, and he just disappeared. She banged the call on him and didn't hear from him in 2 days. 2 days later, she got a call from one of the band members. He said, "Ahana, I'm sorry. There's been an accident and we feel you should know." Zen was drunk. He was riding at full speed till he was hit by a delivery truck alone at 3 a.m. No one knows what triggered him, but he was like going in full speed. And he died. The truck hit his bike and he went crashing. Ahana couldn't control her tears. In one hand, she felt a little relaxed that she doesn't have to deal with the toxicity anymore, but on the other hand, she felt a little guilty because she felt that she had driven him to that pace to take that decision. She had to do something. She tried to return to normal. Many days passed out. Her apartment echoed her. Her mind played reruns of the memories, good, bad. Her parents, her mom and grandmother tried to console her, but it was beyond console. After a long time, she found a guy so much into her, and this is what happens. One day she was coming back late from an event. She had resumed work after a long time, and she was coming back from an event where she met this guy, older gentleman, who came out to be this scientist. He said, "I've heard about what went through because I follow your Instagram page. You should join Sentinels." She's like, "Sentinels?" He said, "Yes. Love doesn't have an end here." But he's like, "How does it work?" She said, he gave her the QR code and said, "Just scan it and you'll get the address. Come, book an appointment and come there." She laughed at first, and the man left, and he was never seen in the party again. She went home, she scanned it, she found an address. It was slightly away from Pavna Lake. She booked an appointment for the weekend at 3 a.m. and he decided to see what this sentence was all about. Keep watching for episode 2. Keep listening to Chill Pill Files.